All right, so like the title states, guys, I got fired, and no need to worry. This was actually a few years ago. So for those of you that are worried about if I got fired, if I don't have a job, whatever it is, most of you who have been around on this channel, you know that I am self-employed. I work from home, but in this video, I want to talk about how I got fired, why I got fired, and actually why I think it was a blessing in disguise, even though I didn't see it at the time. And hopefully you guys can take a little bit of life lessons from this, just share my experience with you guys, and you guys can take this on kind of how to deal with setbacks and how sometimes things that don't always seem like a good thing at the moment, or they seem very devastating, can actually turn out to be a great thing. All right, so getting right into this video, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. That way you never miss out on any future videos. I just talk about my life, my experiences, dealing with different mindsets and how to handle things in business and all that good stuff. So if this is stuff you're interested in, make sure you subscribe down below. But getting into this, if you watched my last video about why I quit the hospitality industry, towards the end of the video, I told you guys that I was starting to get into fitness and I wanted to do personal training. And that's where this whole LA Fitness job started from. So I was working, I wasn't happy at that hospitality job, obviously. And so I started applying for jobs, and I got this job at LA Fitness working as an operations manager. And I'll put that in quotes because at the end of the day, it was more of a glorified front desk supervisor position. You didn't really have a whole lot of control. Yes, you hired and fired people, but the way that it was kind of done, it wasn't entirely a management position in a way. So the reason why I got into that job was because that was my foot in the door in the fitness industry. That was me working in fitness. That was me being around fitness. That was me just completely surrounding myself with fitness. And that's what I wanted at the time. At least I thought that's what I wanted, was to be into management. But I was actually studying for personal training while I was still working at the hotel. So as I was at the hotel, and then once I started as an operations manager, I was still actually studying to get my personal trainer certification through NASM. So I didn't entirely know if I wanted to do management or if I wanted to do personal training. Management was clearly where more money was on paper, but not necessarily where the most happiness or the most fulfillment was. So long story short, to make this video a little more concise, I worked at LA Fitness for about 9 months. In that 9 months, I went to be the #1 club in my district out of 30 clubs. And I was only there for 9 months. There was managers that were there for years, and I was actually surpassing those clubs. So I didn't get fired because of any performance reasons. Ultimately, what happened was I got fired because I was doing personal training on the side. I was actually doing online training. This was almost a few years after Instagram started to really gain momentum. It started getting momentum in like 2013, 2014, and then this was 2016, very early 2016. And Instagram was getting more at its really fast growth stage. And I was starting to get a lot of DMs, and people were asking me for plans and if I did training and etc. So that's when I really started to dive deep into the training. I ended up passing the exam, and I started training some people online. And I did a post with a transformation picture. I'll put it up on the screen here. If I can still find it on my Instagram, I may not be able to find it, but I posted that, and I believe it was on a Friday. I came in on Monday morning. I walked into the club. District manager was there. I knew it was kind of weird because I wasn't expecting him. Typically, he would always let us know when he was coming or not. And just the demeanor of him being there was not, I didn't get a good vibe from it. So anyways, I went back, and he basically held up the phone. He asked me, "What is this?" And I was completely clueless. I was like, "What do you mean, what is this?" I mean, I have an online thing that I do on the side. And he just saw it as a conflict of interest. And looking back on it, I do see where it could be a conflict of interest. But at the same time, what I do on my time, my free time, my weekends, my time off is completely up to me. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I shouldn't have been let go, because I do see the conflict of interest. Florida is a state where they can let you go for any, reason. There's really not much protection. Looking back on it, at the time, I was pretty upset. I had just gotten into my apartment that I had been in for about a year. I had just gotten a consolidation loan to pay off some credit card debt, and I just got myself a new car about a year prior to that. So all of a sudden, I had no income coming in. I was literally fired on the spot. So I handed in my keys and I left. So that was the reason why I got fired. Now, my overall experience working at LA Fitness was pretty mixed. I liked the fitness aspect. I liked that I had more control. As a manager, I was able to hire people, fire people, and firing people was something that I absolutely hated doing, but it was something that had to be done sometimes. You had people that were, trying to get away with certain things, people who were not performing, people who just had no desire to perform. But the thing that I liked most about it was it really taught me that I didn't want another 9-to-5 job. I did not want to be in a corporate environment. I knew right then and there that it just was not something that I wanted to do. So what I did was I just started driving for Uber. That was my solution right after. My mom was doing it at the time on the side, and she was doing pretty good doing it. So I decided to do it as well. And about a month later is when I started my fitness business back in 2016. And I literally have not worked a corporate job since. So the thing that I learned right then and there was it doesn't matter how long you've been with a company. It doesn't matter how much you put in. It doesn't matter your performance. It doesn't matter your loyalty. None of that matters, because at the end of the day, a company can let you go for any reason that they see fit, especially if you work in the at-will states like Florida. They can terminate your employment without really any cause. And right then and there was where I decided, that I wanted to try to go into business for myself. I wanted to try to pursue this training thing because I had momentum going, and why not? So at the end of the day, what I want you guys to take away from this video is that you are gonna have setbacks in life. You are gonna have things that are gonna happen to you. You are going to have bad things do happen to good people. It doesn't matter, like I said, how good of a performer you are or anything. If your job needs to downsize, if your job is not making the money that they need, if they don't like something that you're doing, they have every right to go ahead and dismiss you. And for me, some people say that you should go the safe route. You should get a safe job. You should commit your 401k. You should save money. You should go to school, work up. But for me, there's a lot of risk in that, because I'm losing 40 years of my life putting my time, energy, and effort into somebody else's company and making somebody else rich, while they tell me that I should give them 2 weeks if I want to leave as a courtesy, but if they want to get rid of me, they can just let me go. So to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I would there's risk involved either way, whether you work for yourself or whether you get another job. And for me, at this point in my life, what I wanted to do was, I didn't have kids, I didn't have a mortgage, I didn't really have anything besides a car payment and some other payments that I had and my rent. So I decided it was time to, instead of putting the risk in the aspect of putting in work and possibly losing my job again, I wanted to put the risk in the case of starting a business. I wanted to put the risk on me. I wanted to put the risk in building something that I can be proud of and something that nobody can take away from me, because it was literally at that point where I had done all the right things, right? I had worked at a front desk agent. I had been a front desk supervisor at a hotel. I had been a front desk manager at a hotel. And then now I was an operations manager. It seemed like I was climbing that ladder with momentum. And at any point, they can take it all away from you, no matter what you do. So, like I said, the thing I want you to take from this video is things are gonna happen. Things are gonna go wrong. It's all about your attitude. It's about determining what are you gonna do from here. And for me, that choice was to start my business, and I had no idea what I was doing at all. Looking back on it, I made a lot of mistakes, but the mistakes are how you learn. The mistakes are how you progress. The mistakes are how you ultimately get to success. Nowadays, we think that getting to success and reaching our goals is a perfect straight line. Well, no, it's kind of, up, down, up, down. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, whether that is losing weight, whether that's starting a business, whether that is learning a new skill, learning a camera, like whatever it is, you're gonna have ups and downs in everything that you do. So whatever it is for you, for me, it's my faith. It's believing that God has a plan for me. It's believing that I have purpose. It's believing that everything is working according to his plan. And I don't know, again, what that is for you, but it's important that when you have this faith, you have this belief, put action behind your faith. There's a lot of people who just say, oh, I'm just going to pray about it. I'm going to pray about it. And that's great and all, but like, make sure that you're actually putting in the actions to back up the faith. Just praying about it isn't going to actually change anything unless you're changing something as well. And you have the faith that your actions are going to lead to a new result. So to wrap this video up, guys, I just want to say that, like I said, bad things are always going to happen. There's tons of different directions, and it may not always make sense to you in the moment. I've had plenty of things that made absolutely no sense to me in the moment, but I would not be speaking to you guys right now if it wasn't for every single thing that I've gone through. If I did not leave the hospitality industry, if I did not get fired from LA Fitness, if I did not move across the country, if I did not go through the loss of my father, if I did not go through going into debt, if I did not go through losing a girlfriend that I had dated for 7 years, if I did not go through all of these things, I wouldn't have these experiences to share with you. I would not have the failures to grow from. So ultimately, I have to be grateful for these things because, like I said, I was lost, I was confused, I did not know what I was going to do after my job. I figured it out, a couple of weeks later, and I just trusted the process and I kept putting in the reps, and it has not been pretty along the way. But like I said, it's been my greatest blessing. I have not worked literally at a corporate job where I have to wake up at a certain time, I have to be at work at a certain time, I have to take a break at a certain time, I have to be told when to go home. I have not done that since I left that, or since I got fired at that job at LA Fitness, which is well over 3 years ago. It's been 3.5 years at this point since I have literally worked in a corporate environment. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to inspire some of you that even though something bad may happen, you can come out of this as well. And it may come out way better than you expected. I would not have lived in California. I would not have moved here to Las Vegas. Most of you guys have found me from my Las Vegas videos, and if it wasn't for those videos and me living here, you wouldn't even be watching this video right now. So it's amazing how things that don't seem good in the moment really you can use it for a blessing in the long run. And ultimately, that's what all of these things that I've experienced throughout this short 28 years of life that I've been in have really taught me. So if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel or you've watched a couple of videos and you're not yet subscribed and you've made it this far, what are you doing? Smash the subscribe button down below. That way you never miss out on a future video. Turn on the little bell so that you get notified. And if you guys have any other video topics you want me to talk about, drop them down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a little bit different of a style of video, but I like these type of videos. I want to do more of these type of videos. So if you did like it, again, make sure you click the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.